Hey everybody, christopherodd here, and can't believe it, but this is game number 20. Day number 20 of my 30 games in 30 days challenge, where I'm playing old games, new games, silly games, serious games, games I haven't played before, I haven't played since I was a kid. I've said that a few times now, so I got it down. This game is Banner Saga, and it's been recommended to me. I can't even tell you how many times. And if I told you a number, I'd be lying, because I don't know, but it's a lot. And I think the reason people recommended this to me so much is that it's got tile-based combat, and so everyone kind of associates that with XCOM, which obviously I've spent a lot of time playing. Now, the Banner Saga, as described on the GOG Galaxy client, says, you live through an epic role-playing Viking saga where your strategic choices directly affect your personal journey. You make allies as you travel with your caravan across a stunning yet harsh landscape. Carefully choose those who will help fight a new threat that jeopardizes an entire civilization. And some of the key bullet points that stand out as like interesting to me, having never played the game before. There's over 25 playable characters from 2 different races, human and Varl, the Horned Giants. The combat has actual consequences, so if you lose somebody, you can permanently lose these characters, and then the journey is important as the battle, so over time your story gets shaped depending on how your actual battles go. So I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know if there's a tutorial. I imagine it's going to explain the basics as we go, but let's dive in here for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and we'll see how we do. I know that Banner Saga 3 is coming out soonish, actually. And for those that have played the games, question for you. Do you have to have played the previous, like, Banner Saga 1, Banner Saga 2, in order to understand what's going on in 3, or are they all kind of separate? If you guys could help me out with that, that would be great. Anyways, here's the Banner Saga. This was released back in 2014, by the way. So we're going back a ways on this. 4.5 years. The gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survived through a tenuous alliance, driving back destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing has stopped: the sun.
Að sjá dredgjana á ferli meðalvor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
I don't see a lot of games with like the hand-drawn art style like this. Reminds me of like old cartoons I used to watch. This looks like it might be an unfair fight. Just based on size, of course. Not accounting for mental fortitude and perhaps additional skills I don't know about. Okay, we're just going right in. All right, you've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Click and drag around the screen to see your surroundings. Click the check mark to continue. Okay, so we killed a whole bunch, but now these 4 remain. Well, and all of the spectators. These portraits show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are blue, the enemy is red. It's your turn to act, so blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Okay. I wonder, do we always alternate? And how is initiative determined? Movement happens before action. The blue, or this ring shows your shield banger. Love that. Shield banger is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Some characters fill more tiles than others. He fills 4 because he's massive. The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl who take up 4 tiles each, while humans fill a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. Click the tile you want to move to, then click the check mark to confirm. Move your shield banger to here, and get him into attack range. Click the tile you want to move to, then click the check mark to confirm. Move your okay. To target an enemy, click the tile on which they stand. Ally tiles are blue, the enemies are red. Target this enemy now by clicking this tile. You can choose to either attack the enemy's strength or break his armor. The numbers beneath each icon, can I zoom in? I don't think so. The numbers beneath each icon, 2 and 5, show the damage you will do to that stat. So 2 is against armor, I guess, and 5 would be against the enemy's strength. Strength counts as both health and damage. So a loss of 2 strength means that you now do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. Armor blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by a break attack. By breaking armor, you open them up to taking more damage in the future. Gotcha. Okay. This enemy has only 5 strength remaining. A strength attack will kill him. Click the fist now to attack his strength, then confirm your choices. Okay, he's down. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. It's like XP, I guess. After taking an action, your turn ends. Next up is the enemy. Turns always alternate. Okay, even if you are outnumbered. Okay, good to know. That's actually... Okay, that's good. Despite being at full strength, the chieftain will do little damage against your shield banger's high armor. So where can I see... Now it's your Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all characters can use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By clicking on gold tiles, a character can move farther than usual at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Per gold tile... What is this? At the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tiles beneath your enemy show how close you'll have to get to be in range. Move your Warhawk into attack range now. By clicking on gold tiles, a character can move farther than usual at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tile, yeah, okay. I'm just reading the same thing over and over again. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability that gives him a unique advantage. Click your Warhawk's tile to access his ability. So he's got this Tempest. Heavy impact. Enemies adjacent to the target take 1 strength damage. Normal strength damage to 2 adjacent enemies, starting from target and going clockwise. A description of the ability will appear in the tooltips below. The Warhawk's Tempest allows him to slam multiple enemies at once. Select an enemy and then confirm your choice. Now it says normal strength damage to 2 adjacent enemies starting from target and going clockwise. So I probably want to hit this guy, no? I guess it wants me to click on this. Interesting. That didn't look clockwise to me, but fine. That made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. When there's only one enemy left, players enter pillage mode. During pillage, each character moves in order, and there are no guaranteed turns. Check the initiative to see how the order has changed. Your allies will now get to move twice in a row. If the character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest this turn. Looks like the chieftain is in some trouble. Your shield banger won't be able to finish the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage, so you can either move further or boost your damage. Click the chieftain tile to attack. Click the fist, and then the stars above the fist to add willpower. The number of stars available each turn are determined by your exertion stat. That must be these things here. Armor, strength, willpower, exertion, armor break, and ability rank. You'll see the damage number go up as you add willpower. Click a star and then the green check mark to kill this enemy. Okay. Oh, here. There we go. Gotcha. So if we didn't do this, he's got the 9, he's got 9 health. We would only do 8. So if we click this, we go up to 9. Gotcha. Wow, we did so good.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the Dredge arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more Dredge to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade, quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head.
The sound design is really good. You notice how when he turned away and it got like more reverb? That's really cool.
Fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal. I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Is that right? Okay. Let's recruit. And possibly sacrifice a few. I don't know. Chapter 1, only the sun has stopped. I'm intrigued by the story, too. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Eirik, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Ubin, isn't it? Oh, so we even have, like, conversation choices. It is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. What do you have in mind? Skulfings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Oh, okay, so this is like... Okay, so we have market. What else can we access here? Looks like that's the only thing. I don't know what this stuff is. Renown is what we use to, like, upgrade stuff. This is Clansmen, Fighters, and Varl. 32 Varl. Great Morale. Days of Supplies. Options. And day number. Am I supposed to go to the market? Oh, hold on. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Had, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Skalfing's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Had. So when you tell me that the rat anus Would you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into? Nobody's gonna try to kill you this time. I don't talk to they don't talk to me. Eric, need some help here? I had a change of heart. I hope you do give us a hard time. Had sweats visibly, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. I mean, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked up over every week about how am I supposed to know, how am I supposed to know much? It's just a little food money, yeah? Let's intimidate him. You motion to Gunnulf, your enormous bodyguard, who looms over the man like a snake over a mouse. God, Eric, laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the skull things? Nobleman up by the east wall, but that was months ago last time. Had skulks away with a wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Gunnulf, were you wearing green back at the hall? No. I just bought him while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. I don't know if I can do it. Better than an eggplant. Gunnulf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seems unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be Scalfings. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is a mead hall? I wonder if there's voice acting in Banner Saga 2 and 3. Best I can tell. I don't know where that came from. Sorry. Best I could tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm gonna find him. I'll meet you there. Shouldn't we have an approach of some sort? What a luxury. Come on, you've mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. Yeah, I'll remind him. Alright, cool. Okay. So we've got the mead house. Let's go here then. You arrive in front of what must be noblemen. A few minutes later, Eirik appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out. Eirik says over his shoulder. Ready? Yeah, let's get this over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eirik is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken Scalfings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. We're throwing down, I think. I think we're throwing down. How hard will we be throwing? Don't know, but we're definitely throwing down. Okay. I guess I'm ready. Let me just check out. So, 9 armor, 8 strength. The 7 above, I'm not 100% sure what that's representing. 7 armor, 15 strength, 11 armor, 9 strength. And then 12 armor, 10 strength. Alright. So these... Who's got the most armor? This guy. And this guy. Alright. So... I could go here if I wanted to. Yeah, let's go there. Use the initiative, or whatever it's called. Stone wall. What is stone wall? Blocks 3 damage per hit, 1 round, which is likely to happen. If we just want to tank this, let's see how we can do. Now, when I look at these guys, how do I know, like, who's who? Oh, if you click on them... Okay, I gotcha. And you can see, like, what some of their abilities are. Okay, what do we have here? Rally. Rally gives 2 willpower to an ally at any range. We can attack or we can rest. We'll come in here. 2 willpower to an ally at any range. Let's give it to him so that when he moves, maybe he can get up there closer. So we didn't take any damage from that. And he didn't get through any of our armor either. So this, okay, so this number above represents the willpower then. But you can only use one per turn, so... Alright. So granting that doesn't mean that he could go extra spaces. Fair enough. You can't really do anything. And so he's got 5. I wonder why I'm not able to move those extra spaces with him. Tempest is that, yeah, that's the group attack. Okay, so he did 2 shield damage there. Now it's our turn to attack down on this side. We can do 5. I guess I'm a little confused on how this damage actually works. So I think, so our strength is 10. Whoops, sorry. Our strength is 10. He's got 5 shield, which means we could do just straight up 5 health damage because 10 minus 5. Or we can do 2 permanent damage to his shield, but then we're not dealing anything to his health, and we'd have to attack again anyways. So I might as well just do this, right? Now it looks like we could add extra willpower if we want, but it wouldn't be enough to kill him anyways. So let's just do this. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So we're 9 and 8 on this side. I'm gonna come up this way and kind of set up like a bit of a flank, and hopefully we can tank with the right people, but we'll see how that goes. I guess... So if I rally... Let's rally him. Instead of just doing nothing, I think it makes sense to do that, but... Alright. We'll just attack here. So we do 9. He has 8, but he's got 4 blocks, so we should do 5. Yeah, okay, cool. Got that sorted out. Now, there will definitely be times, and for some of these guys where they have, like, high armor ratings, where we're going to want to do this a tad differently. Let's move in here. Tempest isn't going to work. But yeah, this guy's super strong. So he can kind of clobber anybody. That's one thing I'll have to, consider a little bit better. We can finish this. This is an ideal, Tempest. Alright, so he went for the Pierce. Is that what he did there? I say Pierce like breaking the armor. I really don't know if I want to put him in there like this. I think I'm going to rally this guy again. But what's interesting is I'm not seeing his willpower change. Like this willpower at 5. Oh, maybe, okay, so maybe that's the base willpower. And this is like what he actually has with buffs included. I'm probably just getting ahead of myself, but... Let's get right in here. We hit for... How much? We hit for 9. This is pretty much all going to be blocked. So maybe what I should do in this scenario is, like, take down this guy's big shield or something. You can't attack diagonally. It's only in, like, adjacent tiles. We'll do this. Let's get rid of some of this guy's shields. I'm hoping that we can come up and do, like, a stronger kind of whirlwind here eventually. Okay, so Clobber Knocker here. He's got 15, he's got 8 with 7 shields, so this should just be a kill. Yeah. It's interesting, it's an interesting change for me, both in terms of, like, how the strength mechanics works and the shield mechanics work, but also because, like, it's not chance-based at all. So if you learn the tactics and you experiment enough, then you can kind of formulate your strategy and know that as long as you can execute what you plan, you should be able to make it out. I'm gonna pull him back here. Using some extra willpower, I guess. What's Stone Wall? Blocks 3 damage per round, 1 hit. Alright. I don't know if that's useful, but if they do run at us, then why not? I'm probably not utilizing this, giving the willpower very well, but I'll get it sorted out. Oh, look, there's some, like, displacement stuff, too. Okay. So when is this guy going? He's actually going next. So if I can, I'd like to kill him. It's not quite enough, but if I use a willpower, I can do it. Cool. He's going for the shields. I'm gonna come in here and do the whirlwind. Tempest. Now wait, normal strength damage to 2 adjacent enemies. Oh, I know. Okay, so it's not like the way he's actually swinging doesn't really matter. How I am interpreting this is these guys are both adjacent to me. He's gonna hit 2 of them, and if let's say there was a third one here, he's not gonna hit all 3. He's gonna hit this guy, then the one that's immediately next to him, I think. Yeah, cool. Very cool. All right, I got it now. He's got 8 left with 2 shield. We have 9. Let's use all of our willpower, and this should be enough. I don't know if it matters, like, at the end of battle, how much willpower I have, but let's just use what we need. All right. Promotion, tempered by blood, pain, and resolve. Cool. Oh, it's, you know, these type of games, whenever you are used to a very certain style, and you switch to something that, like, flips that all on its head, it's intimidating because you're like, I don't know if this is good. You only learn that stuff after putting hours and hours and hours in, you know? There they are, gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Iric is looking out the hall's window into the bay. A fleet of longship approach with sails of bold reds and blues. One banner I know well, Wagner. Next for Varl Kingship, last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important. Yes, see what I deal with all day long? Oh, things make a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure that there's no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? What is it? If you happen to stall our guests down in the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eirik and Valgard hustle from the mead house. To his credit, Eirik tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. Alright. Throw some muscle around. So here's the docks. This is kind of cool, man. Not at all what I was expecting. I knew about, like, the visual aesthetic, and I've heard good things about the soundtrack. Didn't know how the story was told, didn't know how the combat worked. Wagner. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. God, Zubin, you looking ancient. Comes with being old, and if there is Wagner there, it must be Hakon. Master? I don't know. Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yaks. At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Drunder demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Arbering, in fact. And glad for it. Hakon mentions to the other ships in the base, sails still fluttering, Golden Wolf head emblazoned on red, the King of Men, or someone on his behalf. You know how I asked about the voice acting earlier? I hope to God, for your sake, that there's voice acting in the third one. This is something, because it's releasing pretty soon, that might be a thing that I tackle and do like a full playthrough, you know? Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering, Golden Wolf head emblazoned on red, the King of Men, or someone on his behalf. The King's whelp? The King's son in Luden. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. A miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Grofheim. I have the distinct feeling I finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day in better circumstances. I'd drink a week away and just let's be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where's Moger? Hakon. Just to have him... I can't, I'm losing it. Have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few. Others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Moger. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Luden looks for all the world. The sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. Weariness suddenly settles in. You chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it's been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. I guess this is where things, like, maybe branch a little bit. Let's drink with Hakon. Scrivener! You find Hakon in the mead house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon? Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Ha, humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yox fart, I must be desperate to make something of myself too. Not too late to start trying, Hakon. There's pretty good humor in here, actually. Hakon lets slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here, I'm a glorified bodyguard. You have a point, just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the mead house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. Oh, okay, so we actually are visiting both. This is the right place. You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Luden. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Luden. Yes, you're with Fognir. I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back at Grofheim with my guards. Luden looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithes to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? Well, thought we might talk about your visit. A Varl historian. Aha, don't you already know? The king, your king and mine both have been practically trumpeting it through your cities. I can't read even. I've been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Luden takes a deep sigh. Whether tired or ungracious, you aren't certain. Maybe both. Well, formality mostly. Wagner came to our capital in Arborang, and now we go to the Varl's captain in Grofheim to cement this grand alliance for the next age of men and Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it, and it's damn cold up here. You get the sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. Alright. At dawn, you're woken by a delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with the sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns leather supply leathers. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eirik had anything to do with that. Okay, so, we've passed a day here. 20 renown. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagner is already here. A while later, Luden and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Moger steps forward, Wagner's quartermaster. If you recall correctly, in charge of this... Oh, Wagner's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks you if you're ready to depart. Yeah, we're ready. Let's rock and roll. You follow Moger to join the others. Usually the smaller doors set to the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. Just frustrated, tired people. It summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. Got our little caravan. Nothing in the vast mountainscape. Okay, days of supplies. Okay. 85 fighters, 366 varls, 34 renown. And the journey begins. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Moger, cracking open mead casks, from our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout the camp. Drink a little, drink a lot. Let's toast to Wagner. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varl. The others join in. Luden's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Wagner. Let's chat with him. Thanks for the speech, slurs Wagner. Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Moger, I thought the damn governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? Well, he tried. Then he asked me to clean up his mess, for your benefit, turns out. I'd have given the job to you, too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Luden? Hopefully the boy goes back to Arborang on his own, and I can take out some frustration on Dredge or something. Starting to sound like a con. You don't like the life of a diplomat. Don't you miss the fight, Ubin? You down your mead instead of replying. Wagner slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge, but this... Pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be, warriors would follow you for what you've done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines get pretty muddy, old Varl. They've always been muddy, Wagner. Stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. I really hope that the future ones are voice acted, if only so that, it's better for retention, and you can actually focus on some of the, like, nice visuals that are here, because if you're just reading the text, it's almost distracting in a sense. You rise groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Everyone's hungover, basically. Moger is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Luden stalking your direction. You sidestep sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge Volner. You're needed. Oh boy. We throwing down. Ah, it's Luden. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? We're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. There is way more story and way less combat than I was expecting. World map. Click and drag the map to look around. And maybe this is just because it's early. I don't know. But I'm sure some of you guys do. Portrait icon shows where your caravan is in the world. You can also click on any location to get some history about it. When you're done with the map, click the X at the bottom of the screen. Cool. So we're heading in this direction. Wandering road. Cool, man. This is done really well. So you can get, like, the background and everything if you want. Home of the first Varl King, Einar. Nice. That's cool. It's a nice way of doing it. We head north and east past the forts. Grofheim's far from the Strand. Going to be a long march. Should have drank last night, Luden. Why not take the ships to Skymirstead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the long ships. It's too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skymirstead. Half-sunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Luden exhales through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the Anthil, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Luden's got a shorter wick than Hakon. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another half day to Verdfell if we're lucky. Imagine on these journeys, there are probably times where you get ambushed or whatever. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by clicking the camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tent. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. High morale reduces casualties in war and affects your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. Now, when it says resting will... a high morale will reduce casualties. Is that because you have extra willpower? The training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Click leave at the bottom of the camp when you're ready to get back on the road. So training, rest, here's the hero's tent. So we can have up to 6 people. Click on a unit to view stats, promote ranks, and learn about abilities. So Gunnulf. Click here to learn about this unit's abilities. That's the Tempest Swing. What's this? Heavy Impact. The warrior hits so hard that any enemy standing adjacent to his target on a strength attack take 1 strength damage from Shockwave. Hitting a target like a Varl or Dredge who takes up 4 tiles can potentially cause an impact across many more victims than hitting a single square target such as a human. Jesus. Okay. Okay. We have promotions. So the greatest warriors in the battlefield are those who live past their first battles to start a journey down the path to legend. Build higher stats, increase your item rank. You sure you want to promote for 5 renown? Yep. Okay, so now we have 2 points available. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. What is this? I don't even know what this one is. It's up to 3. Yeah, I think we want to rank this up, no? What am I doing wrong? So I can get this. I can get more shield. I can get more whatever this is. Hold on. Ah! Ability is a unique power that this class wields. Click on the icon for more info. Left click to add points. Armor. Strength, willpower, exertion is the amount of willpower you can use on any given action. Ah! Breaks the amount of direct damage you can naturally do to an enemy's armor. So that's cool too. And then kills needed to promote to the next rank. Interesting. I wonder why I can't upgrade this. I can flinch him. That's cool. That's weird. I'm not sure exactly why. I'm going to do this because we'll naturally break 2 armor. That seems pretty good. And then, is this saying, like, this is a maximum, theoretical maximum, right? Yeah, stats / max stats. The current amount of points added to this character next to the maximum amount of points allowed at their current rank. Yeah, because you could just, like, yeah, okay. So, he's already pretty strong. So let's add one here and add one here. I don't know why I can't add here, but maybe I'm just misunderstanding how this skill works. So yeah, let's do it like this. All right, cool. Luden. We don't have any promotions because he's new. Hakon is new. What's his power? Sundering Impact. +1 break to heavy impact. +1 strength and 1 break to heavy impact. Okay. And Mogre. Shield Master. Okay. Cool. Sorry, wait, what's his ability? Bring the Pain. Shieldmaster strikes an adjacent enemy for armor damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability. Return the Favor. To return even more armor damage for 1 turn. By using Bring the Pain, the Shieldmaster can create a forward charge that punishes enemies for ganging up on him. Character who attacks a Shieldbanger loses 1 point of armor for each strikes he makes. That's cool. Return the Favor triggers every time the Shieldbanger takes damage from an adjacent enemy, which can make it devastating to hit him with attacks that strike multiple times. Okay. Okay. Cool. I don't think we need to go into like a mock training or anything. I think we'll just actually, since morale is so good, I think we just go. We don't need to rest either.
Wedurfell. Even the name means bad weather.
See, and like this voiceover is so good.
Sweeps in from the bay.
Oh, I really hope the future ones are voice acted.
Most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
By Hardborg, that's a Lord of Arl for some missing cattle. What? A couple days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself until it stinks in that you're not here in his behalf. Where have your cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boys see men up the hills carrying them away. Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. Oh, it might be big giants or something. Or skullfings. Oh yeah, because I guess all the giants would be on our side. But maybe they have giant variants too. Could they have Varl working for them? Oh, there we go. Never mind. Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to take a look around and get camp set up. The peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting around the caravan, about as the caravan sets up tents. We'll be here no more than a day. There's silver for any food you've got. For hundreds of Varl, are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple hunters here. Forget hundreds of... Shut up, you hear that? Where's Luden? It's faint, sounds like fighting and something else. Hakon takes off at a run. Okay, I think we're fighting. Let's go. Let's go. Oh yeah. Whoa. Okay, wait. What's going on here? Where are my boys at? Where's everybody at? Clicking any tile will automatically make a path, but you can also set waypoints. Click once to make a waypoint. Now set the next waypoint. This is often useful when you need to avoid certain tiles. Okay. So let's confirm the move. Spearmen can attack diagonally and up to 2 tiles away, which is nice because it forces them to reposition them. And you could poke from a distance. Press tab or click the top right banner to compare your stats with the enemies. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Now click the enemy to target. Armor blocks attacks on strength, which we learned. For each point that an enemy's armor is higher than your strength, there is a 10% chance that the attack will be deflected. Notice the chance to hit shown above the... Oh, Jesus. Is that for real? There is a chance to hit. For each point that an enemy's armor is higher than your strength. So our strength is 10. He's 5 above. So for each point, it's 10%. Great. Okay, so we had seen that deflect before when people were attacking our guy. Deflected attacks do no damage. From here on out, you will fail catastrophically if you don't break armor. Damaging both strength and armor is equally important. Yeah, I see that. So this is scripted where he goes down, right? It's gotta be. And then we're here like, just a little bit late. No big deal, just a little bit late. Okay, I'm gonna try to save this position for this guy. So we'll move in here. Now, Sundering Impact. 100% to hit, +1 strength, +1 break to target, +1 break to heavy impact. And this is the one that, like, goes outward, I think. But let's just do a regular attack. Let's go on shields. We'll do extra to this. So we need to chunk through this. Do we, though? Yeah, we probably do. We have a 90% chance to hit for 14. But he's got 15 armor. So it looks like this would give us 1. Maybe that's like the minimum that you can do, even if they're over. Well, let's just chunk down some of the armor here. See if we can't figure this out. So I can't quite get in there. Bring the pain. Break damage to target. +1 return the favor. I think we're good. Now, we have 15 health. Yeah, this isn't bad. Or 15 strength. I should get into that mentality of calling it what it is. So we could attack him for 4 damage here, or we can break more of this. Which might be a decent idea. I'm only gonna learn, like, the most efficient way of doing this by experimenting, so... Let's see. So we can, now that we're above, it's guaranteed to do damage, but this is only gonna do 5. I kind of feel like going a little bit more on the shield. This guy's my biggest concern, and if I'm not able to kill him by his next turn, this guy's in trouble. So I'll probably have to, like, kite him around. But this guy's gonna come in and hit too, so yeah, it's kind of risky. Yeah, so he's coming in. 1 hit from him and he's toast. Let's get in here. So bring the pain, break 1 damage to target, and then return the favor. Adjacent Dredge also take damage when hit for 3 arm dam or more. The Scourge uses a weapon to summon an ally to the battlefield. I'm not sure I'm totally understanding that, so I'm just gonna try and attack here, I think. Let's start doing damage. Okay. So you are in trouble, for sure. And as they get weaker, they're way less effective, obviously. So I'm hoping that I can kind of just chill out here. But am I not going to just get chased and caught? Like, he can catch me, right? So when he gets low like this, I wonder, like, what are my real options? And why can't I expend willpower to move further in this scenario? These are all questions I'm asking out loud because I obviously don't know the answer, but... Oh yeah, he's gonna die. Oh, barely. Barely. This guy's so close, but, and I used up all my willpower, so this would be a kill. But not quite yet. The good news is I've kind of got a blockade from this guy now, which means he can probably pick up the kill over here. So if I bring Moger over... I'm gonna try this just to see what it does. Alright, I don't think I'm using that correctly. So this... Oh yeah, but... 70% to do the 1 damage that we would need. If I don't get it, though, then he's definitely dead. Right? What if I do Tempest? There we go. So, what I don't get, whenever an enemy falls, 1 willpower star is added to your horn. Using the horn will give 1 willpower to the active ally. Okay, cool. What I don't get is this Tempest thing here that we did, where it said, like... Well, maybe that was this guy's ability. Maybe because we were clicked on him and it was showing us his thing after we selected the Tempest. I'm a bit uncertain on that, as you can probably tell. What do we want to do here? So these numbers underneath show how much damage we could be doing to them. We have a lot of armor, so they're gonna have to spend time chunking him down. I'm just gonna start hitting here. Oh, and that's the shockwave damage. Okay. Let's block this so they can't run to him. And I'm gonna have to, you know, over time I would learn when it's better to use the shields. But this way it's like, if I crack the shield now, it's gonna take me 2 attacks anyways. So I might as well just do this and kill him on the second attack. You know? I think with you, we'll just hang out right now, because you're pretty, close to being dead. I wonder if it's easy to kind of manipulate, these guys, like, you know, they're trapped here. Are they just gonna attack the thing that's nearest to them? Yeah, so that, like, shockwave damage is pretty cool. Alright, let's break some of the shields here. The way I look at it is, like, if we could do 2 attacks and we would kill the guy anyways, then, like, with just regular strength attacks, then it wouldn't make sense to take down the shield. But if it's going to take longer, then we might as well take down the shield so that the next couple of attacks are more effective. That's kind of the way I think of it. It's like, same thing here, right? Because our strength is getting lower, we could deal 2 damage, but it's not enough to kill him. Even if we did 2 damage to him now, take him down to 6, and then we would have 10 minus 5 for 5, so it still wouldn't kill him, right? So we might as well do this. And now we start hitting hard. And what I could have done there is I could have used the willpower horn to give that extra willpower to use it for that extra +1 damage, and that would have been ideal to kill him, but either way. Cool, man. It's very different. It's a very different way of thinking from XCOM, obviously. The lack of cover makes a huge difference. The strength also being your health is kind of interesting because, or sorry, not just being your health, but also being your damage is interesting because if you get weaker, you're kind of useless. So I imagine there might be a way to heal in battle later. I'm not sure, but yeah. Because once you get low, it's like you don't. Your output sucks too, which kind of makes sense, right? Trying to get yourself killed, Luden. What are you doing? Oh, he's alive. I was trying to get a shot in between the plates. Never seen a dredge before, boy. What kind of idiot break their armor first? Where did they come from? We didn't even see them. They were just there. Akon goes to where Volgnir lies, face down. The future Varl King lies motionless, aside from a spreading pool of blood. Vognir's dead. Oh. Oh. Well, guys, that's pretty cool. I gotta say, not at all what I expected. A little bit slow in terms of how the story progresses, mainly because you have to read the whole thing. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the voice acting stuff. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up here. The combat is actually fun, and I can see that there's a lot more intricacies than what I expected. Even like that battle, that could have went poorly had we not like taken that guy out of the fight. Even though I'm just like experimenting here, I'm not playing this game in full. I could have let him die to kind of see what happens, but I just can't do it, you know? What's this now? Employment happens before battle. Click on your characters, Rook and Alette, to move them anywhere within the... Oh, so we're transferring to another story now. Look ready when their positions... Oh, so we have like a pre-start here. You can move through allies. Mark Prey does 1 arm damage and all allies within range automatically attack the target. Alright. Careful, don't get too close. Yeah, so I think what was happening here is these weapons, like the Scourge uses his weapon to summon an ally. This was the enemy's, and even it says here, this was the enemy's ability, so... Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here because it's been like over an hour. Kudos to you if you've watched this entire thing. I appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for this recommendation. I'm intrigued, and I'm looking forward to hearing your comments about what the differences are between Banner Saga 2 and Banner Saga 1 are, and what the proposed differences are for Banner Saga 3, which is literally coming out in like a couple of weeks. And if you guys can convince me, I might just do a full playthrough of it. But I hope it's something that I could like build momentum in. It doesn't get too bogged down and too slow. Because if I started, I would like to try and finish it, you know? But let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and we'll go from there. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one, okay? Take care. Bye.